Sea ice covers more than 9 million square miles of the Earth's surface, and even though that's a relatively small area of the total Earth's surface, sea ice has a huge impact on the Earth's weather and its climate. Its impact on the fragile Arctic environment affects the native peoples there, as well as transportation and resource extraction, and also national security interests. Sea ice is a very complicated and dynamic material. It's a mixture of ice and water, salt, and also some gases and some other things like algae. Scientists can measure the extent of sea ice and the amount of ocean that it covers. They can also measure the thickness and aspects of it, such as topography. Computer models solve systems of equations that can be compared with that data. Using these two things together, we're able to gain insight into how sea ice affects the climate and the weather. The Department of Energy funded Los Alamos National Laboratory to develop the Cice sea ice model. Cice simulates the growth, melting, and movement of sea ice. The Cice sea ice model provides insight into the complex dynamics of the polar regions and how they affect the global climate. Cice is a critical component of fully coupled global circulation models that include the ice, the atmosphere, the ocean, and the land. And it's used in several big models, such as the US's Community Earth System model, and also the UK Meteorological Office's Unified Weather Forecasting System. Cice and its standalone column physics module, which is called IcePack, simulate the various processes in sea ice across many different scales, from the microphysical scale all the way up to a 1,000-kilometer basin scale. The models incorporate processes like the thermodynamics, wave-ice interaction, ridging, biogeochemistry, and also the motion of the ice and things that it transports across the ocean surface. The Cice Consortium is an international group of institutions that have come together to develop and maintain the Cice model in the public domain. The consortium provides the software to agencies that can use the model for a number of different applications. Some agencies use the model to predict polar sea ice conditions that affect infrastructure and shipping and transportation. The Cice Consortium's models have been adopted by research and operational organizations in more than 20 countries. These include numerous modeling groups that contribute to international climate assessments. Many organizations use the Cice Consortium's models for operational forecasting. The U.S. Navy produces daily sea ice forecasts of ice concentration, thickness, and also ice drift. Then they share those forecasts with the Multi-Agency National Ice Center.
Cice is a very important component of a lot of the models that the U.S. National Ice Center uses. Being able to identify sea ice and predict where it will be in the future greatly improves seagoing vessels' ability to get their job done in a unique and challenging environment.
The numerical ice information that we're receiving from the sea ice model is critical to the Canadian Ice Service's ability to provide forecast information to the Canadian Coast Guard. The improved and increased volume of data coming from the sea ice model has been a great asset to the Canadian Ice Service.
Cice advances long-term climate research. The Cice Consortium makes these state-of-the-art models available to the forecasting community for predictions of sea ice and weather. Working together, the research and forecasting communities continue to enrich the model's utility and accuracy.